top of it, so you laugh and then we all talk and go shh.
All right, everyone's listening to you. Shh. Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find. And with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them.
I thought trawling was illegal in some areas now.
As long as you're doing it around the Barrier Reef, they're all happy.
Look out, here comes a Toblerone.
Probably not so much around certain parts of the UK anymore, I don't think.
I don't think anything. Environmental protections are all going. Right, today, on this lovely, absolutely really shitting down weather here, Monday morning, we have got Jen.
Hi.
Mr. BadTemperedBadger.
Yes.
Godless Scummer.
Oi, oi.
MathPig.
Oh, well, hello.
And Miss Moonbeam herself.
It's like, peace, man.
I can imagine you were a hippie back in the day.
I was. Absolutely.
She described it as well. What she used to wear. Full on hippie.
Flowers in the hair.
Actually, yeah, and I used to embroider my jeans while I was wearing them.
So you had holes in your leg.
It's fine until you try to take them off.
It's as permanent
I
as a
sewed up
tattoo.
a seam in a pair of leggings once and managed to sew them to the outer layer of skin without feeling that I'd done it. I felt it when the stitches pulled out.
Ow!
Yeah, it's fine until you try to take them off, and then you just go, oh dear, I have become part of my clothing.
Yes. We are one. We have merged.
We are as one. We are as one.
There's one. You're better than you were before.
Yeah,
There
shall
was
we
more
only
of you.
one?
Right. Should we... Is there an echo? No.
I don't know, it's your show.
I know.
Is
Should
there
we
an
do some
echo?
questions?
I don't know.
Echo.
Should we do some questions?
We're all
Yes.
following you, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
this is the mention of hippies.
Hippies.
To end with
I've been a
man.
hippie.
Have you?
Mushrooms. Hippies
I don't believe you.
and mushrooms go together better than badgers and mushrooms.
I don't know. Badger and mushroom with a bit of some thick, chunky chips.
It's a
And
snake.
some MathPig.
I'd eat mushroom and chips.
No, that wasn't what Dave was suggesting.
I know.
I would eat badger and mushrooms.
I was going to say, put your hands up if you'd eat badger.
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I got a feeling badgers don't taste that nice.
You reckon?
That's how you cook them.
I'd expect them to be fairly stringy.
See, we come around biting you lot, and you will get
If you marinate him for long enough, he'll be
start a
fine.
cult.
It starts a cult.
See, we
Secretly,
what
that's
happens.
called that's called farming.
We come around biting you lot, and you lot start a cult. It's no good. This.
Well, you didn't carry.
Speciesisms.
That's your fault for spreading diseases amongst the.
They gave it
Especially
to us. We didn't give it to them.
Yeah. Okay.
When you bit them, the cows weren't running around biting you.
That's why it's called bovine. Not.
If you hadn't bit the cows, you never would have got it.
We didn't bite nothing.
You didn't bite
You get
nothing.
CB, did you?
Yeah. Right. First question. Question 832. Do you feel you have betrayed your teenage self? At what age were you most you?
I would say I have betrayed. Yes, I would. Depends on this. Let me try and figure out how to answer this. Yes, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Because I honestly can look back to probably certainly from my late teens to early 20s, and especially a lot of the views and opinions I had on certain things, and I'm very ashamed of. You know, being a little racist wanker for a start.
So you feel you've grown?
Yeah, so, in that respect, have I sort of betrayed this sort of person I was at that age? Arguably. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so.
So do you think you're more you now?
Well, what, I mean,
not
what do you
change every
what do you
7
mean by-
or 8 years, is it not? Does your
11 in
personality
total. Oh. I was going to say, on a cellular level, I thought it was 11 years. But,
Well, I mean,
don't know about personality.
the one. I mean, I suppose the only. I mean, the only major difference. I suppose there might have been differences in the way I sort of would. Mainly on I'd dress and whatever. I suppose as a teenager, it was I mean, I had very short hair. Hard to believe, I know. Yeah, probably just did this sort of smart casual thing, like the dress that everyone else was sort of supposed to be doing at the time. But I suppose in that respect, I never really felt me. Instead, I started growing hair putting on the old metal jerseys and whatever. And okay, I know I still wear the sports jerseys, which is a bit of a, you know, sort of something I've kind of done always. But that's the only, you know, that's about the only sort of remnant of that. Like with obviously things like, you know, just the way I dress and whatever. But I just think I'm a very different person from what I was then, and in some ways I think it's a good thing. In fact, it's
Nerdy says, I'm most me now, and my teenage self was a nutter. Ike says, I failed the kid's potential, but I'm better and more fully myself than he was. Sammy says, I would give myself a high five and say, fuck yeah, boy. Aunt Jer says, I'm not a fan of teenage Aunt Jer. Sammy says, I was me about 16 or 17, and I'm still the same me.
To be fair, I still had the self-loathing even back then. So that.
But surely you loathe yourself less now.
Yeah. I think at the moment I'm trying. You know, I at least now can say I don't understand why I loathe myself. But it's
because you have no beard.
The beard was going fucking grey. All right, I had to go.
Dyed it.
A grey beard is very defining, Jeff. It'll help you.
He'll have one in 10 years.
It defines that you're fucking old.
Sean Connery's old. Women still like him.
Yeah.
He's very grey.
Can you do a Scottish accent?
I got a news flash for you.
He's got it. Oh, fuck! Don't go down that road, Dave.
No, I'm not. I can do an impression of Sean Connery, but it only works on with Jen when she's drunk.
No, it works all the rest of the time.
But yeah, newsflash, I'm not fucking Sean Connery.
Nerdy, you can't let your beard go grey. You look like you need a dark, deep black beard. Aunt Jer says, I was most... Say again?
Why did we end up talking about Jeff's beard again?
It's about to have its own YouTube channel.
I only posted that picture because there's people that seem to not believe me when I said that I used to have a beard. So I posted that picture on Twitter just to provide evidence that I did.
Why? What? Why would people not believe that you'd had a beard? Did they think you're incapable of growing one or something?
I was incapable of growing one. In fact, I still consider myself incapable of growing one. They look terrible.
We've seen evidence to the contrary.
No, you're not really.
I have a friend in real life that has one patch on his left cheek that will not grow, can grow a complete beard, and then there's just one patch on his left, will not grow, completely baby smooth.
Yeah. But that was actually rare, that picture of me though with like the full beard, because normally I just had like the goatee kind of thing for most of the time. So I'm kind of glad I got rid of that.
I've always wanted to see somebody grow a beard just out of the two corners of the jaw, you know, and just have it go straight out from there. You know,
just like massive sideburns.
Like a 25-30 millimeter circle, and just have it stick straight out.
Or you grow it in little tiny circles and then you plait it out so it looks like cat whiskers.
Aunt Jer says, I was most carefree in my 20s. I was pretty clueless though. I'm most myself now. And Nerdy says, time will destroy me. I'll probably be all white by the time I hit 50.
Did I betray my teenage self? I don't know that I betrayed my teenage self because I didn't know who the fuck I was when I was a teenager. I was so busy being neurotic and fearful. I was everything everybody else said I should be, so I wasn't anybody. So am I more myself now? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd second that, Jen. I would actually say that I didn't betray teenage me, I fulfilled teenage me. And I'm the most me now that I've ever been.
So your teenage you would be happy with you?
Oh, the teenage you would be fucking ecstatic about me.
Well, in that sense, yeah, teenage me would have been thrilled with me now.
Yeah.
MathPig.
You guys, go on, Math. Yeah.
Probably would have been.
Probably a bit more confidence now, but not an awful lot has changed.
I believe that.
I don't know. I've heard stories. I think you had slightly more arrogance when you were younger. You were arsey.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
So whose idea was it to blow things up?
That doesn't give you arrogance. That just you just like to blow things up.
Actually doing it.
Man, it's Northern Ireland. Come on, like.
It doesn't. I know it may have been a little bit of a hobby for people, but it wasn't mandatory. Just saying.
Not America, you know.
Yeah.
It's just what we did.
It's just what we did.
We don't blow shit up. We have guns. We don't need to blow stuff up.
To be
fair, guns too.
To be fair though, they were still far more civilized about it than most people, because at least they gave a 4-minute warning.
Well, I'll say nothing except the Oma bomb, and then we'll move on.
Okay, actually, I think we probably should. I do apologise. Probably shouldn't make jokes about that. In all honesty, MathPig. So
no, Badger.
No, I am still all about Star Wars, but only the real Star Wars. So no, I don't think I have betrayed my teenage self.
You were all about the real Star Wars then too, weren't you?
Yes. Back when I was much younger, I was still arguing about Star Wars continuity.
Did you get anywhere with it? Or do you feel you've lost the argument?
You can't lose an argument about a subjective fucking thing.
It can move on in such a way that your argument becomes moot.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop me enjoying what I enjoy.
Fair enough. Right. Next question.
That was a boring question, Dave. It wasn't up to your usual standards. I'm sorry.
They're all boring. Always.
Yeah.
This one's not much better.
Dave's been going downhill lately.
He's getting old.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Writing questions every day is hard and complicated.
He keeps falling off his ball and busting them. You know, he's not the man he was months ago.
The cock don't wobble like it used to.
Yeah. And my bum didn't hurt like it didn't used to. Right, question 800.
We don't want to know what you get up into in the privacy of your own bedroom, Dave.
Nothing, because my bum hurts. Nerdy says burst it again. No. Question 833. What are some common facts that people believe to be true, even if the existing evidence states the contrary?
That pelicans put their spine out to cool it down.
this could.
Kaz corrected that straight away. Kaz corrected that in the chat in the side straight away, but no one noticed.
This could be a long question here. There's so many.
Well, Ricardo's already got in quickly with flat Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that really all like a commonly held belief though?
Yeah, commonly held beliefs. I
mean that's a fringe nutter kind of belief that we just like to ridicule at times, but
the mobile phones cause cancer.
Is that what?
You can go with pretty much any of the minor radiation for that.
I'm sorry, you keep getting talked over. What causes cancer?
The mobile phones cause cancer.
Dave.
Shut up, Dave.
That Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Yeah.
Ilya says Illuminati/Christianity. Ricardo says Trump is a good president. Oh, and Sammy says speak for yourself, Jen. Some of us want to know what Dave gets up to.
What about that the Earth is 6,000 years old?
I suppose that's a more widely held belief than flat Earth.
Is it? I'm intrigued if it is.
40% of Americans hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
40%. That's a commonly held belief at 40%.
Yep. It's shocking.
Ooh,
and
Chappie says.
extremely annoying.
Chappie says the hidden hand.
Okay, I've got no idea what that means.
That is,
Well,
it's
when-
what.
when
Go on,
you
Jeff. You know,
masturbate-
don't you?
Sorry.
You know what the hidden hand is, don't you?
No, go on.
Oh,
I've
it's the-
heard
oh,
the term. I'm not really firing in.
It's
all
the thing
cylinders.
that
Is that
guides
part of
the thing that guides capitalism.
I'll say like the
That's not
Illuminati.
correct.
No,
That's not correct.
not. Go on.
Yeah,
That's
that's bullshit.
That is not true. The hidden hand is if you're right-handed and you use your left hand to masturbate, it's like someone else is doing it. That's the hidden hand.
There's a good one. There's a good one. Masturbation makes you go blind.
Yeah. Do people actually believe that? I know it's repeated a lot.
What about carrots improve your eyesight?
Yes. That's a brilliant one. I like that one. Oh, and Jert, that you can't pray in school. The Christians in America are persecuted.
Yep. Well, Christians everywhere think they're persecuted.
They do. Ike says that ostriches bury their heads to hide.
Yes, that's a brilliant one.
They're looking for water and larvae to snack on. Seraphim says, I told him
I
not
thought
to
you
share
said
this.
lava. I was going, what?
What? Yeah. They hunt for volcanoes. Ostriches are volcano
New
hunters.
volcanoes are looking for lava to snack on. They've got these lead-lined throats. Well, no, they'd have to be better than lead, wouldn't they? Carbon fiber throats, so they can...
No, carbon fiber burns.
Here's a good one. Bulls get angry by the color red.
No, yeah, that's
Oh
quite a
yeah,
good one.
yeah.
That a bull in a china shop will destroy all the china.
Yep, and Mythbusters personally
did that one.
They took that one on.
down.
Yeah, quickly, let's go through all the things on Mythbusters, because there was heaps of them.
A penny drop from the Empire State Building will go through a car roof.
Oh yeah,
Goldfish.
that's definitely.
How about goldfish only have a 3-second memory?
Yep.
What did Jeff say?
Goldfish only have a... Shut it. Oh, fuck.
I saw what you did there, Jen.
Yes. And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Good euphemism to use after what Jeff said.
I know. Ed says that vegan meat is as good as meat.
What was the question?
Apparently Sammy said many Christians believe that masturbating makes you homosexual. I didn't know that. I did not
Actually,
know that.
I can combine one based on two that have already been said here, which is a common myth. Taking the flat Earth thing and taking the thing Jenny said that people thought the Earth was flat before Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Oh,
we can-
yeah.
More people believe
Actually,
that than flat Earth.
That's
That Magellan made it round the world.
Yes, that's a good
No,
one.
he didn't.
I was about to say that too.
ship
Damn
did.
you, Dave.
His ship did.
Yes, but he didn't.
He didn't.
No, he
No, I
didn't.
mean he's still credited with he's still credited with being the first man to circumnavigate the globe. But I mean,
he just took
could
an
be-
early retirement.
The Captain Cook found Australia.
He did.
He did. Yeah, he was already discovered long before him.
Captain Hook discovered America.
Captain Cook.
Captain Hook.
Oh, Cook.
Look, if you want some
Captain
history
Hook
then.
was the guy who fed.
Where me the alligator got me hand.
Okay, well, if you're gonna go with history ones again, here's another one. That Napoleon was a really short guy.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, he was
now,
above
by our-
average.
Same height as,
Now, by our standards today, yes,
He was
would have been a
relatively short. No,
guy,
but he was
but
above average.
He was
he was
about average
5'10".
at the
He was
time.
5'10". Yeah, he was above average. He was 5'10".
I think I've heard 5'5" before, but
No, I thought he was taller than that.
if you go, I mean, here's a good example. If you ever see pictures of the British Admiral Nelson, he's always depicted as this tall, strapping figure or whatever. I've seen the man's uniform. By our standards, that guy was tiny.
Okay, he was 5'7". Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm losing track of here. Right, Nerdy. That Dave actually trawls the internet for questions. He gets other people to give him questions. That's a complete lie, and Nerdy, I need more questions.
Yeah, I was about to say you confirmed that yesterday with me that you said Nerdy was very good at giving you questions.
Nerdy is bloody brilliant at questions. Some of the best questions have come from Nerdy, and I haven't seen him. I need to beat him. Ike says that vegans aren't also cattle. I don't understand that one. Iron Charioteer says drinking soy makes you effeminate.
Oh God!
It does.
What I find interesting actually is
drinking
Thomas
alcohol
Westbrook.
raises your body temperature. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
It does.
Who's the other one? Who's the
No.
good one? Who's the bad one? Not Thomas Westbrook. British.
Thomas Westbrook's Holy Kool-Aid.
I know. Who's
Alex
Cosmic
O'Connor?
Skeptic?
Cosmic
Alex O'Connor.
Skeptic.
Right.
Yeah.
Alex. He within his definition of veganism, it includes eating meat if it's necessary. It's considered vegan to eat meat if it is necessary.
Right.
And that's really weird.
I don't know if you heard the one I said that drinking alcohol raises your body temperature.
Yes. This makes you feel it less, but you actually lowers your temperature because you cool yourself down.
Yeah, according to there was a study that was often cited back in mid 2000s that actually suggests that it actually lowers your body temperature.
Yeah, because it causes you to do all the things that cool your body down. That's why you go red.
Well, it's ironic. I believe it's a vasodilator, and so when
that's those are the words I was looking for.
That's the warm flush that you feel, but it's actually the action of vasodilation helps to cool. So it's an irony. It's a paradoxical effect.
Shaving your hair, shaving makes your hair come back thicker.
Yeah, that's
another quite common one I've heard. It's bullshit.
Yes.
Or I'm going to use a personal one that's much more of a, shall we say, a oft-repeated local myth from my area. That the reason Portsmouth fans call Southampton fans scummers is because Southampton dockers scabbed on a strike in the 1940s, and the Southampton's Dockers Union was SCUM, South Coast Union of like whatever.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's one of those urban. It's one of those things that's urban myths that is absolutely believed in Portsmouth, and yet there is no fucking historical record for it whatsoever. In fact, the only big dockers strike I could ever see on the south coast at all of any note was in 1892. And it was them lot that fucking were dirty scabs.
Sounds about right. Right, Andrea says.
What about, I was going to say, what about Australia is real?
That's obvious. Lots of people believe that. Clearly not. Andrea says that Thanksgiving was a friendly dinner between pilgrims and their indigenous victims.
That's not true.
I think that might be a biased answer. Chappie says most vegans will feel better after eating meat, but that's just nature showing you some truth. Living on greens only won't help your body in the long run. No, I don't know.
The Declaration of Independence was signed on the 4th of July.
Yep.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, if you're going to go that way, I'll go that it's a goddamn Christian document.
And the founding fathers based the Constitution on Christian ideals because they fucking didn't.
I need a book here because I'm going to put it in the founding myth.
Actually, the Constitution has more elements from the Seneca Native American tribes than it does Christianity.
Interesting.
The real lie about the Pilgrims was that they went to America to escape religious persecution in the UK, which isn't true. They went to have religious persecution because they weren't allowed to do it in the UK.
Yep. You consider they went for religious freedom, but that was freedom to persecute. They could practice their religion normally in the UK.
Okay. Now, quick medical one then. If you get stung by a jellyfish, you should piss on the sting.
There are some jellyfish. That's true. Right, I have another one. I feel like we're picking. I feel like we're picking on the Christians ever so slightly, but I'll go with that. Men and women have the same number of ribs. Oh no, the myth would be that they don't. Right, Badger.
Yeah, the myth is that they don't, but they do.
You got anything?
Yeah, my internet went wonky for a sec. So what are we talking about?
We've had a whole long question. What are some common facts that people believe to be true, even if the existing evidence states to the contrary? You're not allowed to mention Disney.
Shit. Let me...
Yeah, because we didn't.
Phones give you the COVID.
Oh, 5G.
That 5G shit.
Yeah, the 5G.
That French fries are called chips.
They are.
It's just not correct.
They are.
Well, technically, our chips are a little bit thicker.
Yeah, chips.
No, fries are a type of chip.
And they're a lot
fries are a type
of
chip.
The Battenberg is okay.
What is it? All kayaks are canoes, but not all canoes are kayaks. Yeah.
Yes.
Flemish fries are the ideal compromise between the two, I'd say.
Sweet potato fries.
They're nice.
I like the sweet potato ones.
They're horrible.
I like sweet potato fries. They're lovely. And good for you. They're one a day. Potatoes aren't.
I'm gonna go with that.
The koalas are cute and cuddly.
Actually, that's a good
The
one.
problem I've got is the only thing I can remember about koalas is someone telling me a comedian telling a story about one slipping onto his thumb and having his thumb impaled on a koala.
They don't make the sound you'd think they make.
Do they not?
No.
Turtles.
If you look at a koala, imagine the sound that you think a koala would make. What sort of sound do you come up with?
A quiet.
You sound like a constipated child.
Because what they do is much lower pitch than what you would think of. It sounds more like somebody violently shitting themselves.
A constipated child is what it
This is what eucalyptus does to you.
Okay, I'm going to go with the outdoor cats are a good idea.
Interesting.
Koalas are also called drop bears, right?
No, that's a separate subspecies.
Only when the drop bears are the ones who get drunk on the leaves. They actually do get drunk on the leaves, though.
Yeah. I thought I heard they got like completely stoned on the eucalyptus.
Yeah,
or
pretty much.
Right?
Oh, I thought it described how they drop down on you if you walk under the tree and they bite your neck and shit. And claw your face.
They won't drop on you unless they actually fall out of the trees, but it has been known to happen with koalas. But if they did drop on you, you fucking know about it because they're heavy, they're vicious, and they've got really sharp claws and teeth. If you go to a petting zoo to cuddle a koala, they will put a jacket on you to stop the koala tearing you to pieces.
Like those nasty rabbits in Monty Python.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Koalas are vicious little shit.
Koalas, they are
cute looking, but they're fucking vicious.
Looking, and you see their fucking claws they can sink into you as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, that could be
sharp.
Most koalas have like 1.5-inch long claws.
Well, those
they're hanging onto trees. Right, MathPig, any clues?
Yeah. I said at the very start. I had my answer.
That's cheating. Okay, next question then.
It's probably because of the fact that between me and Jen, we've given about 20 answers each to that one.
Yeah. Right. Question 834. If sexual experiences were like trading cards, what would be your rarest card? And I should add to that you will admit to.
That you would what?
That you will admit to.
So something I've actually experienced but is rare, so like a one-off.
Yes.
A threesome.
Oh, that would be my just having sex at all card.
Yeah. If anyone, I've got. I just say I've got a lot of masturbation cards and swapsies right now.
You need to go. You need to go and talk to the Baptists in America.
You want to swap
if anyone hasn't got that in their sticker album, pun intended.
Sticky album.
The trouble with these trading card games, if you if there is a card that the players can make without having to do any other kind of interaction, that card will oversaturate the market.
It will.
Considering that masturbation is a form of birth control, would these be cards against humanity?
Oh!
God damn
Sammy,
it, clever, hey?
Jenny.
Sammy says foursome. Nerdy says, I guess actually having a girlfriend. That's quite depressing. Badger.
What do you call it when you're in like a public toilet?
Doing what?
Well, as a trans woman, it would be called risking your life.
Oh!
A glory hole.
No, not a glory hole.
You haven't done one of
So
them.
you're just having sex in a public convenience?
Something of that nature, yes.
With a girl or a guy? This is cottaging.
Or with yourself?
We'll just go one with a picture of a card with a picture of a bathroom stall on it and leave it there.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
And was it in the cubicle or the urinal?
That's gross.
It was in the facilities.
Do people
I like that.
actually do that?
I don't
People
know. I wouldn't
I have
mind
no
betting
idea.
there's been somebody who's lifted their girlfriend up on a urinal to have sex. People are disgusting and they do stupid things.
Sammy says, in answer to your question, MMFF. Ilya says, missionary. Antjer says, blowjobs. There aren't any more in my deck. There aren't any more in my deck. I like that. Ike says, well, we have a bathhouse 3 miles from home, and wife who enjoys driving me. I have some unreleased hollow foils. Fair enough. Seraphim says, rough sex, need more. MathPig.
Sex in the ocean at quite a crowded beach before. Did that?
I do
once,
like
so
that.
would be-
I was gonna say it's quite an interesting one to do because it's one of those things you can do. It's very crowded that no one knows what you're doing.
Yes.
Not in the water though. Yeah, sex in the water is just stupid.
All right. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's a rare trading card. It's a rare trading card.
It is a rare trading card, yeah. I've done midnight in a public park.
I'm saying nothing. That's not a rare card.
No, that wasn't a rare card. What about a subway? And by subway, I'm not talking about where you get on a train.
Subway store.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ew.
We had. I'm trying to think how much I did at a subway because we had one
concerns me
outside
about
of a
the
club we used to go
secret
to. That was
sauce.
open. Ricardo says altar small church in Arcanon, France. I think this has come up before.
Yes, I was going to say he said that before.
They said that before.
I haven't done it in a church.
Churchyard.
Yes, not a church.
Churchyard. I've done it within the outer bit of a church.
Oh, I used to go to the ruins of a graveyard with an old church at the top quite regular to have sex. That was like only fucking less than 500 or 600 yards from my mom's house where I used to live.
I thought you were going to say that was less than 5 or 6 years ago.
Sammy says, gone down on someone on the back of the bus. Antjer says, sex on the beach sounds abrasive. It really can be. And it doesn't end there.
Yeah, it's getting rid of the sand afterwards.
Never have sex on the beach. Never.
Never have sex on the beach.
Where do teenagers go to have sex when you live next to the beach? We've got the golf course, the beach, and a couple of parks. If you want variety, the beach is included.
I've actually never had sex on a golf course.
Have you not?
No, I haven't.
Bunkers are great fun, but still a sand problem.
Yeah, sand problem. That would be my problem there. Nah, screw the sand.
Right. Next question. Oh, a nice simple one. Oh, yes, a hole in one. There's a good Red Dwarf joke about that. I can't remember it, so I can't say it. Right. A very simple question now.
Okay.
Question 835. What is the objective and universal meaning of life?
Say that again.
I was going to say 42 first.
What is the
You just did, didn't ya?
Oh shit, so I did.
So did Nerdy. What is the objective and universal meaning of life?
It ends.
It's a laugh, innit?
It's a laugh, isn't it?
Life isn't. Yeah.
Does it end? That's a life. A life ends.
Does it have to be both?
I don't think it. To be quite honest, I don't think either exist.
Yeah, that's what's going to be my answer. You can't have a universal meaning because I think meaning for life is a personal thing.
No, I don't think it is.
And
Again,
therefore it's
you're
not
talking about a
objective either.
life. Again, you're talking about a life, not life.
Well, I don't. You can't. How can you have a universal meaning to life in general?
I think you can. I think.
No,
to
you can't.
No,
you might,
No, I think you can.
No,
I think to exist.
I think you're wrong.
You think,
I think you're wrong, Dave.
I think you can have a meaning in the sense of to exist, to replicate, to continue exist, and this is on a
Alright,
chemical
so the
level.
basic premise of life is to reproduce.
I'm not even convinced I would go as far as to say to reproduce, but I would accept that as a way to. I'd say to continue.
The only way you could have a universal meaning is if you take it down to the microbial level. So
Yes.
where life is its most basic, and
Completely agree.
That's the only way
Well, then,
you can make
then
it.
it's
And at
replication.
that point, the only point of life is to reproduce.
No, again, I think reproduce there is necessarily wrong. I mean, you have animals that or not. You don't really have animals, but you have things that don't reproduce but continue to replace themselves. To replace parts of them, you have like the tree that is probably immortal. It just grows more of itself and more of itself and more of itself and more of itself and more of
But
itself.
that's a form of reproduction.
Like I said,
producing
suggest
more.
that reproduction
It's
is not
producing
the goal.
more. Yes.
That
I would
reproduction
accept.
is
I would
not the
accept.
goal.
I would accept
It's
to
secondary.
reproduce. I just think that it's
It's
not. I don't think it's broad
The meaning of
enough.
life- the meaning of life would be to feed itself.
feed itself, to consume.
To feed, to consume, and feed itself, without which it cannot reproduce.
Sammy says orgasms, and then a few lines later screams exactly orgasms. Hanging with John Wild says, "Well, I can tie half the question with the sex thing." Ed
Does
says,
the
"I think
paramecium have orgasm?
no. I think
How do you
life
know?
is." I tried for hours and couldn't manage to pull it off.
What? Hang on, you were talking about orgasms and you just said you tried for hours.
Yes, to give it one.
Sometimes it takes that long.
Ed says,
It's
"I
good
think
when
life."
you've got to manage to do that. But most of them don't manage that long.
You've got to get a man in. I think life is bullshit. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you want to last that long, you got to get a woman in.
Ike says, "Life is accidentally complex via self-reproducing macromolecules, therefore personal meaning is what we find in our random interactions. biological meaning is to make more.
Exactly.
this is it.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. Jeff.
Thank you.
Right. Question is, what meaning of life?
No, what is the objective and universal meaning of life?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to answer that because some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things make you swear and curse. You're chewing on life's gristle. Don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And...
Always look on the bright side of life.
I think that we're... Oh, stop it. I think we're all taking this in the completely wrong direction. If you're asking what the meaning of life is, we're giving you the answer of what is the goal of life, and the meaning and the goal are two different things. The meaning of life is to exist to understand itself, and since it all comes from the universe itself, it's the universe's attempt to understand itself.
I completely disagree with most of that. I agree with what I said at the first. I think the meaning of life is to exist.
Yeah.
I'm not even convinced there is a meaning to life, to be honest.
That's to life of life. Anyway, we shall move on.
Which is why we bring it into the conscious state to create the meaning as we each see fit.
So, but that thing, there was no meaning to life until sentient life evolved.
But even then, if it's talking about sentient life, it still then comes down to a philosophical question, isn't it? Like what's the purpose? Whether it be what the meaning of life, what's life all about? What's the purpose of existence? Those are all philosophical questions.
Which, from the point of view of a philosophical meaning, there is no universal meaning of life.
Yeah,
this is simply an invalid question. Move on.
Of course it is.
Move on.
Hanging with John, he's got the answer here. Life is the search of the elusive and rare orgasm. Once you find it, life is no longer worth it.
Oh, well,
Next question.
I don't know. You could look for it a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time, all in one night.
Yeah, we're talking about guys here.
Well,
how do you know? You can't possibly know it's the ultimate because you haven't experienced all of them.
No, you have to keep trying.
I'll try some more.
Exactly.
Right, moving on. Question 836. Would you rather sleep with someone on their first date or wait for 6 months?
On their first date or my first date?
Your first date with them. I know I said that wrong.
That was phrasing, Dave.
I know.
So, are you not on the date with them?
Yes.
Are they on a date with somebody else?
Not
necessarily.
Dave dates from the hedges with the binoculars.
Considering
See, what Dave does is he sends his partners out to find him a date, and they meet them, get to know them, then bring them back to his boudoir so that he can have a threesome.
To my what? To my what? To my boudoir.
Your boudoir.
And the thing as well, with that question, when he says their first date, he could be talking about their first date ever, which could be like at 13. So
Okay, let me clarify slightly here. The first date between you and them.
Oh. Okay. So
I wouldn't like to wait 6 months, but first date maybe not.
Hanging with John Wild. Hanging with John Wild says the first 5 minutes.
What's the question again? What's the whole question again? Please properly state.
Properly state. You think I can manage that now?
Yes.
Would you rather sleep with someone on the first date or wait for 6 months?
Oh, okay.
Aunt Jer says 6 months. Silent Shout Out says 3 years. Ike says it depends. Am I looking for a long-term thing or fun for however long it lasts? Ricardo says before the first date. I like his thinking.
Yeah,
that's the kind of you do the thing and then you
your intent.
Say again?
Sorry.
This is the sort of you do the thing and then you do them and then you think, I suppose we should go on a date now.
Yes.
I don't like the choices either immediately or 3 months. Why not a week, 2 weeks?
6
All right,
months.
it's immediately or 6 months.
Yeah.
And the whole point is to
something-
not like the choice.
Something
Yeah.
tolerable.
I mean, okay, if we've got to choose between the two, though, obviously, and I mean, I know a lot of people would say somewhere in between, but if we've got to choose between the two, I'd sooner wait 6 months. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with that on the first date at all.
Do you not think
I've
it gets things out
I've
the way?
I've never been comfortable with like one night stands. Really, you know, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. It's a trust issue with me, I suppose.
In all honesty, if I went out on a date with somebody and they were the two options they offered me, I'd say, how about neither?
But if you were picking this answer, what would you pick? Answer this question.
Oh, I said
Well,
neither.
No, you've got to pick an answer.
I would pick neither.
Yeah, neither.
You can't have neither.
Neither. No, we can. We just did. You can't. Otherwise, that's rape, Dave.
Right, in which case, I'm assuming 6 months for both of you.
6 months. I
And then
agree
I
Jeff.
find them and break up.
6 months seems completely reasonable to me.
There you go. Silent shout out says, but nowadays, even without a first date, sleep together.
Yeah, it takes me like a while to be comfortable being like physically intimate with someone.
Yeah.
I need to know them for a while first, so I'm perfectly comfortable with 6 months.
Sammy says, I think we know my answer. I think Sammy's, yeah, and then MathPig says, Sammy walks into the room naked, start of date. Hanging with John Wild says, tomorrow is not guaranteed, so get your bam bam on like eating dessert first. Ricardo says, I also dislike one night stands. Anything more than a couple of hours forces a brekkie as a first date. Yes.
I'm never been comfortable with that at all. So,
I've never had a one night stand, but I have had sex on a first date that has went on to a relationship. Like,
So a one night stand
I've
that
had a
turned
couple
into.
of nights stand.
no,
I don't know.
I have had one night stands and they are just awful. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I will never do one again ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't do them again. But when I was younger, I've done one night stands.
I've done them, never enjoyed them. Never.
How is it you're the most experienced in this area?
See, the whole point is that afterwards you want to, you know, you have a one night stand with somebody. At the end of it, you maybe you fall asleep together that night, or maybe the other person gets up and goes home, or you get up and go home, or whatever. And there's nothing intimate about it afterwards. It's just like, all right, I was a piece of meat.
Well, and I
I don't get it.
after I found out that some girl actually slept with me for a fucking bet, I'm never doing that again. So
See, I'd like that,
Really?
but that's
Wow.
me.
no, that's demoralizing, Dave. That's fucking demoralizing.
Now, I can understand a one night stand if it was like a friend and it was friends with benefits sort of thing, but then it's not really a one night stand.
I'm not keen on the idea of it myself. It's
What, friends with benefits or one night stands?
one night stands. See,
How about friends with benefits?
Friends with benefits, I'm fine with. I'm also fine with other people doing one night stands. They're just not for me.
No, fair enough.
They do not appeal to me. It's just kind of.
Sammy says, some of us are happy to be a piece of meat, Jeff and Jen.
If you are, you are. But I was not happy with that.
No, I totally get that.
It did not do me any good. So.
You gotta
I
do
agree.
what's right for you.
Being the object of a bet would be very, very dehumanizing. That's
No,
And it would be funny because I've seen.
I would find it offensive to bet upon someone else. I wouldn't object to being the target.
Yeah, I've seen, because I know guys who tried to get me involved with the thing was like, you know, put a fiver on like something that he won't sleep with, and I've never been comfortable even participating in something like that, even when I'm not the one in the fucking. It is just fucking degrading to the other to the person, really.
I can see it being fun if everybody involved is in on it.
I just don't want to know.
But the implication is that they're doing it for a bet because the person that you're the person that they're betting on you to sleep with is undesirable in the first place. That's the whole premise of the fucking thing.
Yeah,
I get you.
Brian Brainbug says, I've lost it because there are lots of people. I've been married to someone for 13 years that started out as a one-night stand. And Ilya says, I married my last one-night stand. We divorced 11 years later. And I reckon she can't blame the one-night stand for that. Right.
Yeah, but it's probably a good indicator about getting things off on the right foot in future, though, isn't it?
11 years is quite a good relationship.
Yeah, I'll let Ilya be the judge of that one, to be honest. So,
an interesting follow-up question is, what is your longest period before a first date and then having had sex?
Having sex before the first date, or you mean between the first date and having sex?
There's a lot of sex questions in this one.
The second one.
It's Dave's quiz, Badger.
They weren't meant to be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The longest between... Does that include the fact that you got together with someone online? If that makes sense. Or between the first physical date and then having sex?
Nowadays, online dating and mutual masturbatory experiences are considered having a relationship and having sex. So, I guess it would count.
I don't know how to apply that to relationships I've had online.
Most of my activities are online. It's much more fun for me there. People don't make like weird eye contact and do body language things that they expect me to actually understand.
I mean, the first person that I met up with that I would class as a date, and the shortest time period would be about 35 minutes to drive back to where I lived. The longest is probably a couple of weeks. From the point at which I started having relationships that involve sex rather than before that.
You must go through a lot of loop with that bouncy ball, Dave.
MathPig has a picture. MathPig has a picture.
I've got quite a few pictures.
No, I don't.
What have I got pictures of?
Dave is lubing his bouncy ball, apparently.
Oh, I have many of them. A couple of them. I was just trying to narrow down the field, because there's such a big variety and stuff.
Yeah.
Dave, can you fold the ball like with balloon animals, and you can make it into like a fun shape?
It's already got a fun shape on it. It's why Dave likes it.
No, it doesn't. Shush. Right. We'll go next.
Is it
question.
actually a space hopper that appears to only have one handle when you're sitting on it?
No.
That's exactly what it is.
There are no handles at all.
Well, none that you can
steady
see
on.
at the moment.
Steady on.
That's
Next
why it's
question.
got the one handle so you can steady on it.
Next question. Question 837. Should people be allowed to obscure their identities online?
Well, they do anyway, so...
Should they be allowed to?
Me and Badger refuse to answer this question.
Why do you and Badger refuse to answer? I think Badger's going to answer. Have a strong opinion on it. Badger.
My opinion is it depends what they're doing. If you're just talking about somebody with a Twitter account, I don't see the problem. I don't see a problem with the general public not knowing who that person is. I possibly see a problem without them having to verify who they are to the company that runs the social media service, because Yeah,
You can't trust them.
You
You can't trust them.
Sorry.
You can't trust them.
Let's bear in mind here that the only person I can actually see in this actual chat right now who actually has got her full name, so her first name and her surname in there is Jenni. I think that may be a bit of an indication of where this is going. Yeah, now okay, my name is out there, as you know.
That's mine.
My surname's out there.
Mine's not.
But you know, if we exactly, well, there you go. So it's like, but no, is it something we should be obliged to do? No.
No.
I am strongly of the opinion that anonymity is a right, and that it's nobody's business who I am in almost any context.
Is it not?
No.
So you think online you shouldn't have to be able to identify, not even to the companies?
No.
My feeling on that would be, as an opinion, I think I agree with Badger that anonymity is a right. But if you're talking about a policy, I think if it can be guaranteed that everyone is honestly themselves, then everybody should be required. It should be universal, and only if it's universal. If there's chance for cheating, then there'll be chance for cheating for many. And
If there's a
that's wrong. If it's a requirement.
If there's a platform that requires you to identify yourself to the platform holders and the people on it in order to use it, that's fine, because in a sense, the people running the platforms are private entities. However, I don't use those platforms because they're almost universally shit. That's why I don't use Facebook.
Yeah, whenever I joined Facebook as MathPig, I'm actually Matt H Pig as my surname because it wouldn't let me put Matt as the first name. So
Yeah,
I'm Matt
the
with
ones
one T and H Pig for a surname.
I got to say, my new Facebook allowed critical cripple. I was surprised.
all the ones that require you to identify yourself to use them seem to be very they're bland. They're just they're cooking videos and people waving their cats around, and that's about it. There's nothing actually interesting happening on them.
No, agreed. Quickly in the
Because
chat,
anonymity actually allows people to express themselves.
in a way you couldn't.
Yes.
Antjer says yes. Hanging with John Wild says yes. Ilian Moon says yes, 100%. Ricardo says business answer. Hanging with John Wild says yes. My name is John Wild, and I'm sticking to that story. And then you're all talking about who knows your last name, last and first name. The only person here that knows my last name, I think, is MathPig.
And he has forgotten.
Nobody around here knows any of my shit.
Yeah,
I thought
but
your
I
name
have
was
your
Badger.
phone number.
You do have my phone number.
That's my species, Dave.
And I've been
We don't
taking-
all look alike.
And I've been taking bids.
You've been taking bids. Find out whether they're cute first.
Well, it hasn't gotten over $1 yet, so that ain't worth pushing a send button.
Go on.
We're assuming we're still on the same question, so I had to step away for 2 secs.
Yes.
But no, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've had sort of a similar question to this before.
We've come at this from a few angles.
Yeah, and again, one of the things is, considering we probably know of people, in our own around our own communities and on the outskirts of our communities, who have been known to use personal information against people in completely unethical ways. Then if just keeping, like putting a blooming handle up which doesn't give your full name away or anything, is I think is more than acceptable. Even if it just makes it that little bit harder for them to do that.
I would add.
No, I know.
But what about but what you see? You're all arguing for the side of protecting the people that want to protect their identities, but you're also neglecting the harassment that is potentially possible as well.
Block them
by people that are obscuring their identities.
Block them.
You can't block them because they just create another one.
Block that as well.
That's the trade-off. That is kind of the trade-off with it, though, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, that is the downside. I still think even if they did have to put their full names out there, these assholes would still do the same thing.
Yes.
They might,
they could only do it once. They could only do it once.
Unless the system was enforced through authoritarian means, there'd be ways around it where they could do it just as they do it now, just by using.
So you're suggesting we need authoritarian means?
No, I'm suggesting that's a terrible idea in every possible sense.
I don't know. I think Twitter could have a good police force. You know, they wouldn't abuse weapons or nothing like that. You know, they'd be the good guys.
They'd be the good guys.
Well, Twitter's such a happy name.
Well, they've been okay recently. They've got
images displayed properly.
No.
Sorry, Jeff.
They've been okay the last couple of weeks. They kicked off Katie Hopkins. They kicked off Graham Linehan. So they've been all right the last couple of weeks. Twitter. So
I thought you were going to say they've been all right for the last couple of minutes.
Oh, hey, by the way, is there anybody here of you English-speaking folks?
No.
Who does animation kind of things? Who could help me put together an absolutely brilliant idea I've had in the last couple of days?
I don't know. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Okay.
Possibly, depending on how static it is.
It may be Badger.
Actually, it could be fairly static.
I make moving things, but mine. I like to make things that look like paintings with motion.
Like Monty Python used to do in their opening titles. You know, with the jaw that moves of an old static picture, or an elbow that moves, or that kind of stuff. Because that method could work. Okay, here's my other question. Is there a social icon that belongs to the Tories, like the red hat is to the Trumpies?
The Tories in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a tree.
You mean? Oh no, but that's just their logo. It's not really a.
Amazing
logo.
A mop top.
Just put Boris's face on it.
I mean, you got to remember that. You got to remember that logo was pretty recent. That tree logo, because it was always the flaming torch logo for like decades.
The flaming, you could still use the flaming torch logo.
It would need something. It would need to have physical presence. You know, something that people would take to rallies and hold up. And they hold it up. You know that.
Oh no!
Oh no!
This or that.
Picture of Boris when he was stuck on the zip line.
No.
No, there's not. Right. I don't think there's anything quite like the MAGA hat in Britain.
No, I don't think.
Yet.
Not with the Conservatives. Not with the Conservatives. I've seen perhaps more like banners and things that on the left or whatever.
The thing with the UK Conservatives is they survive by being so boring that they can sneak things through because nobody fucking wants to listen to them.
No. Right, let's get back to this. Okay, Sammy says...
Okay, thank you.
Ricardo says, as long as the ISP and VPN can ID point of entry, I'm okay with anonymity. However, this will not extend to doxing. Sammy says, what about paedophiles getting onto kids' sites? Exactly how are they meant to police kids' sites?
On the ISP thing, no, I hide that.
You hide that. Yes.
Okay.
What about
Moving on.
what about paedophiles getting access to kids' sites?
What's that question? Huh?
What about
I-
paedophiles getting access to kids' sites?
I think
How can you
sites
ensure-
need to be separate from the,
And
the
they still-
main internet?
How can you even suggest such a thing?
Because it happens constantly.
Well,
Well,
yeah, I suppose.
You
but-
get again, though. Generally, people, even if they try to be anonymous now, they still get fucking caught now, though.
Not necessarily. You don't know the level of.
You might want
appeal to
to.
not-
You
The
may
shit
want
ones
to.
get caught in.
You may want to look up Matt Bell.
You could tell us.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he was actually, he was actually sort of part of somewhat on the YouTube community a few years ago. Then he disappeared for like, but he was this fucking horrible bloody Scottish. He was from Scotland. He was this horrible bloody Christian apologist. But he was sort of part of like G-Man and Shani's sort of fucking group. You know that group that
Marvelous.
This is Matt Atheists Have No Morals Bell, so you sort of know. He's now in prison for about 20 years, I believe. We found out that he was on internet child pornography sites, including one where there was that was from the Philippines, where children were literally. I don't even want to say the terms, but stuff was happening to them live on camera. And
Okay, two things. We weren't trying to talk about how to police paedophiles' access to sites that but has got that stuff on.
The thing was, he was
We're
caught.
trying to know how we keep them out of kids' sites. I mean, the problem is at that point, you've got to track
Well, hold on.
somebody.
Hold on, but when you talk about children, define a children's website?
You go with your Cartoon Network, your Disney games that are aimed at.
I mean, the thing is, most sort of things, especially when it comes to anything social media, generally they're not aimed at having kids on that. Sort of say children can't have profiles on that. Yes, of course, there's kids that have got profiles on Facebook and kids that have got YouTube channels.
No, we're talking about ones that are made for kids. Like usually they require
aren't that
parental
many.
sign up. There are loads of them. Sorry, have a kid. They're everywhere. Right, the issue
I have
is
to
the
step up
account
for a
has to be no problem. The account has to be created by the parent.
Yeah, and again,
Right.
it's I'd say that then if that's the case, it's there is a bit of an onus on the parent.
No, the parent can't police the
Oh,
usage of it. Not completely. There's still a level of responsibility on the
what
part
if-
of the company.
What? Yeah, there is, but there has to be an element of both there.
Yes, entirely.
There has to be. There has
But
to
you're
be an element
still
of
stuck.
responsibility.
You're still stuck with the parent. If a company turns around and says, okay, but sign-ups to this site are basically completely anonymous. Parents won't let their kids go on there.
Yeah, and they should. I'd put any parent to let their kids go on a site like that.
Right, so the point is the company, even if it's just for economic reasons, has to somehow police it, in which case you cannot have anonymity there. Right, anyway. What Adjer says, I feel like if the right person were to try hard enough, they could track down most anybody online. To some degree. Most people are very, very bad at leaving breadcrumbs. There's only a couple of people that I've looked for that I've not been able to find.
Yeah.
Badger.
Well, I mean,
Why were you looking for people?
yeah.
Fun.
Well, I know.
Dave.
I'm not going to mention the person's name, but there's one fucking idiot who successfully managed to dox himself whilst attempting to dox someone else. So,
Yeah, that's
Clever.
impressive.
Right. Next question,
But
I think.
I docked myself right from the beginning, so there you go.
Did you? Where are you?
I'm relative.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
Wait, one at a time.
But I'm not going to say it out.
I'm relatively careful with not putting publicly identifiable information anywhere, but I'm fairly sure it would still be possible for somebody to track me down if they really wanted to.
We
But,
know, Badger,
if they
we
were
know
to
you
do
live
that,
in Wimbledon
it would
Common.
be a massive privacy invasion, and I would make a whole stink about it.
Badger,
It's
we
all
know,
right. Your details have been sent to the relevant people already, Badger.
Badger, we know that you live in Wimbledon Common and you're really a womble. Okay, it's not a big secret.
All
We
my
know you're
information is readily accessible. I use my full and honest name all the time. I use my full and honest avatar all the time. If they want to come get me, they're welcome to, and they're going to be very unhappy when they try.
Finding me used to be a lot easier. It's less so now.
Yeah,
Right.
Finding me's pretty easy.
I'm just going to turn up on your doorstep. Right. Next question.
But how can someone find
You
me
give
if I
me
not found
a heads
myself?
up, Dave, or I'll have nothing in the house for you.
How can someone find me when I've not found myself?
Oh!
Does anyone
Andy,
truly know who you are or who they are themselves?
Like, wow, man.
I like where you're coming from on that one,
like,
Jeff.
That's like really heavy, man.
Yeah.
Shush! Next question.
The dude
Question
abides.
8. Question 838. At a party, you meet drunken Elon Musk. He hands you his phone with Twitter open and says, "Do your worst," and goes to the bathroom. What do you tweet?
Hey, turns out it's flat after all.
Oh!
One of our rockets hit the dome.
Everyone follow BadTemperedBadger on MySpace.
Do you worst?
I'd like to proudly announce the newest member of the SpaceX team, Anthony Riley.
Do you know what? Coming from him, and given that he's not going to respond to it, I would say that something along the lines of one of our satellites has detected a city-sized asteroid that will hit tomorrow lunchtime.
Oh!
No, it's got to be more believable than that. But that's a.
But I think that's believable enough for the people that it's going out to.
No.
That would create panic. It would actually create panic.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
a
yeah,
lot of people
It would.
have too much confidence in the incredulity of the public.
Yes. MathPig.
That would be a devastating one. That really would.
Oh, I don't know. Possibly mole people doing his new tunneling thing.
We discovered a new
Civilization
species.
buried under the ground that he's found doing his tunneling thing.
How about I'll be
write,
selling Tesla and joining the first expedition to Mars.
I would write. I can't believe how easy you Americans are to fool.
The problem is, the worst thing is that wouldn't work because that one, people would believe he'd been hacked. Disturbingly, because they're easy to fool.
Dave,
I do like a really shitty dad joke or something, and say, I had a girlfriend set up for the Mars colony, but she's broken up with me. Now she's my SpaceX.
Oh,
That's terrible.
God.
oh dear.
Oh, jeez.
Right. On your previous comment, Dave,
Yeah.
I think you as well have an overly inflated level of confidence in the incredulity of the public.
Oh, Ricardo says
man.
delete his account and steal his handle.
Sell it back to him for Tesla money.
Yeah.
And Joe says, I don't care enough about Elon Musk. None of us cared about Elon Musk. The point is to fucking do something crazy.
I would upload a photoshopped image of him masturbating or something like that.
He smoked weed on camera. He smoked weed on camera. I don't think he would be embarrassed about that.
Sex has a completely different experience, completely different to people than something like smoking pot. It's sex.
I'm on his Twitter. I was on his Twitter this day. Went to lift the box up today, but put my back up. It was Falcon heavy.
That's terrible. Right, next question.
Yeah.
Question 839. What is something that your parents did that you swore never to repeat to your own kids?
Not an answer to the story, but just as you say that, David, Donna did you have got 5 seconds to get in here now and the full name to Elena last week, and I just sat there and laughed.
Did she get to 0?
No, she didn't.
This question is pretty triggering.
Why is that? Your parents were terrible.
I'm not going to discuss it. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'll make something up, but this is very triggering.
Yep,
Never again says.
Get the reason.
Go on.
No, it's best I don't. So I reckon that it would be something my parents did. No, come back to me. I forgot mine.
Okay. Never again said the list is so long I decided not to have kids.
That's well, that was my answer. Have kids.
Have kids.
That's my answer.
Mine would be to not do any of these trite, foolish statements like if everybody jumped off a bridge, would you too? You know, you're going to put your eye out.
Yeah.
Live my house by my rules. You know, and all that kind of parental crap that my parents used to give me. I would not do that stuff. Well, in my house, my rules might actually be used, but
yeah, I
most
think
of
that's
the others were
useful in a way. It's well, to a certain extent, that's kind of useful, but
yeah.
Kind of makes sense, but
Yeah.
And corporal punishment also.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I don't have an answer for this because I don't think my parents did anything that I haven't done as a parent or wouldn't have done as a
Do
parent.
you think you're a better parent than your parents?
I hope that I'm as good as my parents. I'm actually not sure I am as good a parent as my parents were. I think my parents did a damn good job and they're very hard to emulate. There are things that I would personally wish they'd done better, but that was a product of the time they were in that I think I've done better. But I think there's things that they did better than I have. So no, there isn't anything in particular that I've sworn that I wouldn't repeat. Except maybe that I try to keep more in tune with. Well, I mean, my kids are grown up now, but I tried to keep more in tune with the things that were happening around them in their things, so that I was more in tune with the stuff that was happening. But aside from that, I don't think there really was anything.
Excellent.
I am a pretty good parent.
Bastard.
Sorry. Yes, I'm a lucky bitch as far as that goes. Sorry.
Okay, if
David,
you had such good parents, what the hell happened?
No. Oh. You can't blame my parents for how I turned out.
David Melbourne says I wouldn't leave the sex tape out.
But the only thing I do different to my parents is I swear an awful lot more.
Do you?
The satirical wit, the taking jibes and things like that is all. My mum and dad did it all the time to each other and to us as kids, and expected it back. And they were very good at it.
I never heard my father utter the word "fuck" until I was about 55, 60 years old.
My father has never
I've
said
heard
it.
mum do it. Dad never did.
My father's never sworn.
I'm gonna say
my
door
mum
locks,
said-
dad did
actually.
swear.
Say again, Badger?
My mum swears.
I'm gonna say door locks.
As in, you would have them or wouldn't have them?
I would have them.
Oddly enough, the
I-
number of
I-
parents
Like
that
on,
had to
like on the bedroom door. Yeah.
the number of parents that had to tie their kids into bedrooms is disturbing. There's
Not
an age.
not for locking kids into bedrooms. I think that's unsafe. But for things, what I think I would do is I would have locks on the doors that can be opened from both sides in emergencies, but are there for privacy. So
Yeah.
you could just lock your door so that turning the handle normally won't open it, and just go, right, this means I want to be alone now.
Oddly
And
enough, that is
applies
exactly
for
the
both
door locks.
parents and the children.
That's exactly the door locks I put on the doors.
That would be my thought.
Badger, does that mean that your parents walked in on you whilst you were doing something?
No, I was more careful than that.
Right.
Does that mean you walked in on them while they were doing something?
Yeah.
No comment.
No comment.
Okay.
Right. Brainbug says cleaning
I
our
walked
plates.
in on mine.
That's terrible. Brainbug says cleaning our plates. I think it leads to eating disorders. Which I think they're probably right. He's probably right.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
Yeah.
Right. Next question. The penultimate question.
Oh shit.
I only use penultimate when she's not here.
Who's she?
Amanda.
The cat's mother.
The cat's mother. Yeah, that's my mum. That's what my mother used to say.
Yeah.
Hanging with John Wilde says, I went to my dad once and told him I was tired of running around in circles. He got mad and nailed down my other foot. So
Right.
bad.
Question 840. You have been given the power to make one person, but not yourself, immortal. Who would you bestow this power upon, and would it be a blessing or a curse?
I have follow-up questions.
Go on.
Can they choose to end it?
No.
Fuck. Do they have to be alive now?
Yes.
Shit.
Do they still get old?
No. They're at the age that you make them immortal.
Alright. Okay.
Never again says it's a curse.
Because I was gonna say Christopher Hitchens, but I don't think he would want to be immortal forever, and he's also not still alive.
No. You go with Peter Hitchens.
What? Why would I do that?
Because you're an arse.
I mean, I don't dislike him as much as some people do, but I fucking disagree with him.
So would you have to do it right now, or could you wait until they were just about to die in incredible pain and agony, and then give it to?
You're thinking of making it a torture.
Oh yeah,
Would open the field to many more people that would deserve such a thing.
it does.
Brainbug says it's a curse. Brainbug
caught
also
something
says,
that-
can it be a doggo? Yeah, it can be a dog. I can live with it being a dog.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so much. I don't think it'd be so much of a curse to a dog.
Dude, whenever you
Well, I
make
don't
them
know.
immortal,
Actually,
can
depends what owners he
they-
Wait, one at a time! MathPig!
That I think could be. Oh,
How are you, MathPig? MathPig!
Does the immortality pick on the dog whenever you give it to it, or does it your body take its peak life? Or
No, it's when you give it to it. It's when you give it to it.
and it stays at that level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff?
And then I give it to my wee dog too.
You can still give it to a wee dog.
I don't know. I don't know. I want to give immortality to anyone. So I think it could be a curse.
Yeah, well, it could also be a torture.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would have given it.
if I wanted to torture someone, I'd probably turn around and say, like, if I viewed it as a torture, I'd say make Bono fucking immortal, but then I would be torturing future generations with more U2 albums.
You don't need to do it right now. You wait until he's at death's fucking door, or he's just had an accident, or something. You know, wait until he's right at death's door, so he's in that pain of he's going to die, especially if it's a painful death, and then you would bestow it.
Especially if it's a painful death. How did you turn this thing into this torturous thing? Just wait. Hanging with John
if it was
says...
my choice.
You did say you added the curse element into this as well.
Yes,
so
if it was a blessing or a curse, because that's what's talked about in immortality.
Well, I've turned it into a curse. You've
turned it into a torture, not a curse. Hanging with John.
The question is it a blessing or a curse? Not what you would.
Well, the one I'm going to do is definitely a curse.
And I would pick my dog from my past, who was named Bosch, a beautiful white German Shepherd I had.
He's already dead.
Just one of the nicest dogs. Well, okay. Well, it's all pretend, so we get to cheat here.
No, it's got to be someone that's alive.
Are we all getting this ability to offer it to somebody else on the panel?
No.
So it has to be somebody now. Okay.
Yes.
If it's a human, Barack Obama.
Interesting. Hanging with John Wild says, my 25-year-old girlfriend, the older I get, the more she stays the same. Yes, she will. Yes, she will. Rainbug says, a dog wouldn't know it's immortal. Antjer says, I think it's a curse. I can't think of anyone I hate enough to do that to them, not even Trump.
Even if it's a blessing, even if it was a blessing, I probably wouldn't give it to fucking Obama. So
if it was Donald Trump, he would think he deserved it. For God's sakes,
the man already. Trump already thinks he is God. Don't give him fucking immortality on top of that.
Brian Cox, if you don't want it to be a curse.
Which Brian Cox?
Good one.
The actor's all right.
He's all right. I do like the actor, but I'd go with the scientist if I had to pick between the two.
Yeah.
Okay then. If I'm going to pick, if it's going to be a blessing, it's going to be Corbyn, because one day he'll take the leadership back and he'll fucking win.
Right, me.
Oh, you want to do that? Okay, I'm giving it to Dave.
No, you won't vote for him.
Your body doesn't get better, Dave. You just get stuck with that.
But I have faith in medical science that they will be able to do something about that at some point.
You missed the point here. I was asking you if everybody here got the option to give to one other person. I was going to trade them with you. So I'll pick you. You pick me.
You go. Hanging with John Wild.
Yeah.
Deal.
I'll meet you in Hawaii.
So are we now changing the rules? There has to be someone on this panel.
No,
I was just saying if each of us got the choice, I'd swap it with Dave so we could choose each other.
I reckon that
you'd pick Dave over me.
Well, I don't care.
I was waving.
We could all swap it with each other, and we could all have it.
Yeah, but is it a curse?
I reckon
Well,
that
there might be a curse for Dave.
I reckon that we should do a scenario like the guy who actually runs everything in Hitchhiker's
Be a fucking curse to me, I still won't be getting laid.
Who runs everything in Hitchhikers?
Yeah, you've got a whole universe of time to get laid in.
I reckon we should do it like that. The guy who actually runs everything in the Hitchhiker's Guide. The guy that just lives in the middle of nowhere and doesn't care about anything, but they go and ask him how to run everything because he's the only one competent to do it. Oh, I broke everyone.
You did. I've completely forgotten it. Hanging with John Wild says, I would say Meatloaf is near death's door anyway, and the blessings of wonderful music forever.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh God.
I forgot Jeff hates meatloaf.
No, fuck no. I'd say if you're gonna go down, see, I would say Keith Richards, but I'm pretty sure he's already fucking immortal.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Brainbug says Maynard Keenan getting a new Tool album every 20 to 50 years. I'm not very keen on Tool.
if we're gonna go down bad,
Got a few more points in respect there.
Did he?
if we're gonna go down bands, it's gonna be Angus Young for me, and keep having AC/DC albums. So I don't give a fuck, you know.
I'm up for the meatloaf idea.
Well, he hasn't done anything good since.
And did you hear him sing recently? Or not that recently now, a couple of years ago. His voice is completely fucked.
Well, I got to admit, I was very sad as someone who was a lifelong Motorhead fan the last time, and I saw them about 6 times. And last time I saw them, it was very obvious that Lemmy was fucking struggling, and it was sad to see.
Mm. Right, last question. Question 841.
Oh my God. Oh
Would
my
you
God.
rather have your name tattooed on your forehead or have no front teeth?
You can get fake teeth. You can get false teeth. So
Yeah,
They're not as good as
gold
teeth.
That'd be fine.
They're not as good as
could
teeth.
cover it
yeah,
up
I'd
with
go with
makeup.
false teeth.
I'd get myself a platinum grill.
I think I'm gonna have false teeth. Probably. Well, my front tooth. This one here is already a false tooth. That's a crown. So
Who hit you?
a field hockey match during school. Someone thought it was a fucking golf club.
Much blood?
Yeah, and I'm walking around for like part of the day with a bloody nerve exposed because I knocked half the goddamn tooth away.
Oh.
Yeah, and then like, after several attempts at trying to root fill the bloody thing, and it kept falling out. I just eventually just put a bloody crown on the thing, and that's so it's pretty much a false tooth I got there.
Antjer says tattoo. Orla says false teeth. I'm heading there anyway.
Got a friend
Gonna get there.
who's-
We're gonna
who's-
get there eventually.
I got a friend whose his front sort of middle 2 top teeth are full of technology.
Full of technology.
But the question
Yeah.
was, would you pick the tattoo or have your teeth fall out? It says nothing about replacing them with a denture.
No,
Yeah, it doesn't say you can't.
So
But it
the
didn't
question
say
is asking, would you
say
have
we
permanent no teeth?
I didn't say we couldn't.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
didn't say we couldn't. He didn't specify that. And, although I expect Dave is now about to arbitrarily change the rules on this. Now
Tattoos are difficult to fully remove, whereas teeth can be,
The point
in
is,
modern world,
I am
you can get
relying
new
on
ones.
But again,
I am-
that's not what the question is asking.
I'm relying on the fact that false teeth, especially your front false teeth, are shit. You might be able to look like you've got front teeth, but you're never going to be able to bite an apple again.
I carry a
Depends
knife.
how they're done.
That's a sacrifice I'd be willing to make.
And
says-
it depends how they're done too, Dave, because they can do ones which they actually implant into anchors into the bone, and then
Yes.
it actually.
They do.
Literally
So-
just cut an apple and you're fine.
Yeah.
Apple or have apple pie, which is better anyways.
That's also
Brainberg
true.
says, teeth, Orla says, it's still more comfortable than taking them out myself. Have them fall out. So everyone apart from Aunt Jer is going for the teeth.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
figured it out. Figured it out.
No,
You figured it.
no.
You're not. You're going for the
If
tattoo.
we stick to the nature of the question. It's, do you want to have a mouthful of no teeth?
Yes, I agree.
No.
Okay. Right then, if you can't have false teeth,
If you can't have false teeth, then
You can't
I'll
have
take
false
the
teeth.
tattoo, because I can cover that up with makeup.
You can also have it removed.
So is everyone going to go for the tattoo if you can't have false teeth?
See, this is a problem. This is a problem. Now you move the fucking goalposts on these questions.
No, it's not that I'm moving
Yeah,
the goalposts.
we're
I'm
refusing
intrigued.
You
I'm
are,
intrigued about a
Are
different
you
question.
moving the goalpost and we're refusing to play now? So you're done.
You have answered that question. This is a different question. Orla says still teeth.
You put up a new number
You said last.
with that in it. Then. Go on.
Do you want me to?
It's taking your ball, Dave. is what it's
Right,
called.
fine.
If you insist.
Wait there. Wait there. Just wait.
Talk amongst ourselves while Dave makes a prat of himself.
I think I'd still go for the lack of teeth in that scenario because anonymity is a right and all that.
Right,
Well,
question 841B. Would you rather have your name tattooed on your forehead or have no teeth and no false teeth?
What, no teeth at
Well,
all?
I
No
think I
teeth
could
at
make a bunch
all.
of- I think I could make a bunch of money with no teeth.
Hold on.
I'd be popular.
There, exactly. There are some guys who totally prefer you to have no teeth. So
Yes.
Interesting.
How would I sound if I had no teeth? I wonder. Actually, no. I'd have my name tattooed on my head if it meant I had to spend the rest of my life sounding like Janet Street Porter was the alternative.
Well, after a while, your gums would recede a bit, and you'd be boning.
You'd be boning. That really hurts. Right,
I
wait
think
there.
part of
Orla
the-
says
part of the
still teeth.
question-
Ricardo says teeth. Brainbug still teeth. You can only see them when you open your mouth. Orla says, I've looked into that. There's pull out whatever's left of your teeth, 4 months of healing, and they put the new one. Oh, that's talking about having the ones that they drill into your gum, into your bone. It's awesome, but you got to have all your teeth out in several months of horrible. Yeah.
As
Right.
far as the tattoo
watched-
goes, as
Yeah.
far as the tattoo goes, what font and point size?
Oh, I'd do it if I could have it in wingdings.
No.
yeah, we're all missing something.
Comic
I'm
Sans.
gonna go ahead and I'm going to find a really, really good tattoo artist to do it who can do it really, really tiny and under my hairline.
I was thinking a letter called point size 6.
Yeah. Tiny.
No. It's got to fill your forehead.
No,
It's scaled
no,
to fit.
you have to
Wingdings,
make another
that's fine.
question.
No, shut up!
He's doing it fucking again.
He's doing yeah. You'll have to make a new question if you're going to do that, Dave.
No.
This is why you.
Yeah.
This is
Correct.
why you would never be allowed to referee a football match, Dave.
I would send people off
Moving the
immediately.
goalpost.
Every time someone ran too fast, I would send them off.
It's just the team comes onto the pitch, right? Red card all in.
Yes.
841C.
If that's the case, then Southampton will be getting some great fucking results under you.
Glober Mum says teeth. Brainbug says, can the tattoo be skin tone coloured ink? No.
Oh, see, that's another fair
brilliant.
question.
Ah,
Yeah, no, you didn't stipulate it couldn't
Yeah.
be.
No, once
The
again,
point
here-
is, it has to be visible. It has to be visible.
No,
If it's your
you didn't
wingdings,
say
I'll have
that.
the
You
point.
did not
Can it be
Think it like
visible
that.
in ultraviolet? Can
No.
it be visible only in ultraviolet?
No.
Yeah, ultraviolet tattoo, yes.
A
No.
6-point font would be visible, just not very legible.
No,
You
it's
can
got
get
to fill
ultraviolet
your
tattoos.
forehead.
They're only visible under ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet tattoo.
Can I have the name in Norse runes? So you didn't specify what fucking alphabet we used to have to use either.
I would accept that. I would accept that.
Mm.
Then okay, I'll do
I'll
that.
have it in the Mandalorian script.
No, that's not real.
It is. I've got it in the dictionary down here.
That's as real as the alphabet we use.
Okay.
You always have it in Klingon.
Right, I'd like to
Yeah,
put something out, please.
Oh, what
all
about
alphabets are
Elvish?
arbitrary.
I'd like to
Put it
put
in
something
Elvish.
out. I'd like to put something out, please. I hate you all.
Yeah.
Dave,
Do it in
Dave.
the Mandalorian font, and I'll have it.
Dave, the moral to the story is this: you don't want stupid answers. Stop asking stupid questions.
If we didn't have
Another-
stupid questions, we'd have no questions.
And Dave, if we're smart enough to get around your silly question, you should allow that.
Yeah.
I usually do. It's just that when you get argumentative, it's a problem.
Yep.
I've seen.
No. We're
actually, of
creatively getting away around the problem that you present to us. Then you wish to redefine the problem
Exactly.
or alter the problem.
I've seen a video of somebody who's had that, tooth replacement thing done.
Yeah.
The most disturbing part of the video for me was when they had the metal fittings in all the gummy gaps drilled into the bone, but they hadn't attached the teeth to them yet.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I was just looking at that, just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, there are all
Gummy
these
teeth.
little snap fitting posts.
Here we go.
Here's another one for you. When they do that, they have to run the drill very
No, that's not how it sounds.
No, very, very, very slow. Because
Gets very
if they
hot.
generate heat, they kill the bone.
Yeah.
And so they
Oh.
it's almost like a no more than one rotation per second. And that's how
Ow.
it feels.
Yeah.
You're under for it,
I've
though.
always had fillings without anesthetics, so
Well, I should just say that first root filling I was on about as well. That when I told you that they did several on this tooth hair, before they finally put a crown in there, they tried several root fillings, and during which time the nerve died and meant my whole fucking tooth went black. That was fucking. That was. Now you think you think I had a stigma about my fucking appearance before then?
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
A friend of mine's got a similar problem actually. He's like, it's the guy I was talking about with the technology in his teeth. His two front teeth, because I think the thing was he fell off a bike as a child and like broke his entire face.
Yeah.
So he's got the two front teeth that just gradually going darker and darker in color.
Yeah.
And then he eventually like he bit into something and something just shifted and his whole jaw just was suddenly in agony for months. So now his teeth are full of technology.
oh no, that'd be cool.
Is that the same
Can he
sort
pick
of
up a radio
thing with
station?
is that the same sort of thing with the color, Jeff?
No, I mean basically mine just went this horrible like black fucking color. But what happened was that I just went through after that hockey stick thing. I went through some fucking hell with my dental things for a while. That as a result of that, nerve got exposed. At some point, it got an infection as well as a result of it, which means I had a massive goddamn abscess on my gum. Then I had this issue with bloody tooth going black.
How old were you?
And when I had the tooth got out, what was I, 12, 13?
Oh, that's not so bad. 15, 16 would have been way worse.
Yeah, but by the time I was, I think I was 18 last time I had the crown replaced.
Right. So in the new scenario, everyone's going to go for the tattoo.
If I can have it in a Mandalorian font, yes.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
go for a tattoo in a UV tattoo in.
No, you can't have a UV tattoo, and you can't have it small.
No.
No,
Yes, I
no,
can.
you can.
You did not
I'll
stipulate.
Helvetica 8 point.
I'll have it in the Mandalorian font, and then I'll just wear me Mandalorian armor all the time.
Then it wouldn't matter what it was. Hanging with John
Exactly.
says tattoo. So
Wouldn't
all I have
matter
to
if I
do
have
is
no teeth either.
no. All I have to do is point at my head when I meet someone. Like my mum says, if I had the tattoo on my forehead, I would have "Hello, my name is," and then their name.
Have it like in one of those.
Hello,
like,
my name is
name
Ken
badge
Hogan.
tattoos, Like,
Hello.
Yes.
My name is.
my name is.
My name
Prisoner
is.
number.
My name is.
My name is Slim
The
Shady.
trouble is, I don't think I'd trust anyone to do it. I think I'd end up with "Hello, my name is penis" or something on my forehead.
That could be just one. I mean, let's just say I'm glad Dick Dawson's not on the fucking panel today.
Right. Apparently, Brainbug has asked me to clarify.
Yeah.
Has asked me to clarify the color of ink. You can use black ink. That's it. black. It's hard to cover
in
up.
Mandalorian font, and I'll wear a helmet.
MathPig downloads Mandalorian font.
I
Right.
guess I'd still go with tattoo because my name isn't Dick.
Oh, that'd be. You'd have somebody called Richard. And they're just there, like, yep, I'll go for the tattoo. I can handle that. I like chewing. Just end up with Dick.
Right, we're going.
See ya.
Ding, ding. We didn't see ya. Bye. Right, I'm gonna say thank you to Jen,
Bye.
to Badger,
Now available on MySpace.
to Jeff,
Bye.
to MathPig,
Mike.
to Jenny.
Good night, all.
Good night,
Or-
all.
Well, yeah. Good night, all.
Before we run away, does anyone have anything to shill?
I had technical difficulties last night, so we have Cynthia on tonight.
Excellent. What time?
9 o'clock UK, 4 Eastern.
Excellent. It'll be fun. Anyone else got anything on?
At some point in the next month, I'll have another nature video. Also, you should come on my channel, Dave.
I know. I keep meaning to.
Won't that
Anyone
make
else?
his channel sticky?
Very. That's fun.
It's very.
Right. I'm going to say thank you to everyone in the chat. You have been an absolute blast today. And we will see you tomorrow at the ungodly hour of the same time as today. Bye!
Bye.
Thank you.